With the 237th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Isaiah Ford, wide receiver, Virginia Tech. Fins up.
Here we go.
Miami Nation.
There's no nation in Miami.
Nah, everything can be a
Miami
nation all the
Nation.
time.
Miami.
Freaking Miami
Fins up.
Nation.
Hand on
Fins
your
up.
head.
Whatever.
Backward cap.
From the moment I was born into the Schwartz family, I was born into the life of Philadelphia sports. My dad grew up outside of Philly, so he has always been an avid fan of any and every Philadelphia team. As a baby, I was immersed in sports, from Eagles bibs and Philly socks to going to my first Flyers game at age 4. Sports would have a critical impact on my life.
I think playing sports when you were young had a lot of different benefits for you, and it had a lot of different impacts. First of all, you played almost every sport there was. You started out with soccer, you played football when you were little, you played baseball in Little League for a while, and you played street hockey for many, many years. I think personally that was your favorite sport. But I think that led to you watching a lot of sports on TV, especially football. You know, you went to the draft 3 days in a row in Philadelphia, and I feel like that led to you making that one of the things that you looked for in a college.
I started sports around the age of 6, playing soccer and hockey. Even though my parents forced me into these sports, I realized how much I enjoyed playing them and continued playing hockey throughout my life until high school. Soon after, I started to play football and baseball. My most prominent memory from sports at a young age had to be when I was 8 and had a big football game coming up. At the time, I wanted a fresh pair of Heelys, the newest fad, so my dad had promised me a pair if I made a tackle. First snap of the game, the ball was hiked, and I went and tackled the closest kid, and in the end, the Heelys cost me a bloody nose and 2 teeth, which is probably why I quit football. At age 8, I made a decision that shocked my entire family, from grandparents, uncles, and cousins. I had decided to root for a different football team, the Miami Dolphins. Not only was I no longer rooting for the local team, but I went against everything my dad had instilled upon me and taught me, and to this day, I believe a part of his heart is still broken.
I can accept that you're a Dolphin fan because you're my son. Okay? But still, the Eagles are the heart and soul of your father and the Schwartz clan. So if you want to be a Schwartz, you have to accept the fact, look, you can root for the Dolphins, okay? But you have to accept that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
Throughout my years in middle school, I won 2 Linwood championships in baseball for Team Rose's Garden Grill and 1 championship in hockey.
My biggest memory from when you played sports as a child was definitely in the baseball game leading up to the championships in Little League. The game was tied. It was the last inning. You got up and hit a single to make the bases loaded. At this point, your coaches decided to pull off some kind of trick play and had you trip when the pitcher threw the next ball on the way that you were supposed to trip on the way from first to second base. So none of us knew that this was a trick play. You hit the dirt. I started screaming for you to get up. The coach from the other team started screaming at the pitcher to throw the ball to first to get you out. And of course, everyone's looking at you. Everyone in the stands, your whole team's looking at you. And when the kid on third base looked at you, you signaled for him to run, steal the base, go home, and you guys won the game.
My dad, while having a subtle hate for the Dolphins, has always made sports a very important and enjoyable part of my life. From our annual tailgates before football games, road trips to New Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park, seeing the no-hitter pitched by Roy Halladay in the postseason, going to a Stanley Cup game when the Flyers played the Blackhawks, and going to countless U.S. Opens. Specifically, my most memorable is my dad taking me to my first Dolphins game in Miami in 2011. The Dolphins lost that game. However, in the second Dolphins-Eagles game, the Dolphins won. To this day, my parents still help fuel my passion for sports. My dad takes me to every Philadelphia sports event, buys me multiple jerseys, gives me collected memorabilia from when he was my age, and gives me someone to talk to about all things sports. My mom gets me to do his Madden every year, gets me the Dolphins game every week, as well as every sports channel known to man, and let me go to the NFL draft with my friend Jake. Over the weekend of the draft, I was fortunate enough to be on NFL Network twice. On Sunday, during the 7th round of the draft, I was selected out of 50,000 people to read the Dolphins selection. I was able to go backstage and was super nervous before I read the pick. I was so nervous that I accidentally thought I read the number wrong, reread the number, and then got roasted on live TV by the NFL Network crew for my backwards cap and for what I said after I read the pick. All in all, my life in sports has been exciting and very memorable, so I'd like to thank my parents and brothers
With the
for giving me some
237th pick,
Some
the
people may never have.
237th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Isaiah Ford, wide receiver, Virginia Tech. Fins up.
Here we go.
Miami Nation.
There's no nation in Miami.
Nah, everything can be a nation all the time.
Nation.
Miami.
Thinking Miami
Fins up.
Nation.
Hand on
Fins
your
up,
head.
whatever.
Backward cap.